wish you didn't come here. They'll find out. I cannot. Do you know what I must do to get that information? They question my loyalty. They want me to kill a young mafioso to prove my loyalty. I cannot do this. How can you balance one man's life against another's? I will consider this. Now, please, forgive me if I don't show you out. Good afternoon.
Case Officer Thorne, welcome.
Hold on to your breakfast. German TV is running this promo for a news story about a stolen nuclear weapon. I did some poking around in German intelligence and they say that it isn't as bad as it looks. The weapon's not actually functional. Someone removed the pin. The Germans like to think the sellers had enough conscience to hang on to the really dangerous stuff. I think I know better. They're selling it separately.
Der Kalte Krieg ist vorbei. Die Welt ist vor einer atomaren Apokalypse sicher. Nein, in der nächsten Achtung werde ich Sie über mein neuestes Spielzeug genau informieren. Eine voll funktionsfähige Atombombe. Verpassen Sie es nicht. Morgen in Achtung.
The State Department is trying to get as much information out of the Germans as they can, but they're being pretty tight-lipped. Back in Russia, this is a serious blow to Polyakov. Politico is predicting a major shift in the polls. Zurbanov should pass him within a few days.
Case Officer Thorne. Mission directives for Case Officer Thorne. Mission directives for Case Officer Lang.
This is Theodore Lang. I just heard a side report about the Jeffries autopsy. I tracked down the shooter's rifle. All that got me was Wade's weapons. A quaint little gun shop in Alexandria. The rifle was purchased by a Mr. Let's see here. Lester H. Baxter. I'm looking into it. I'll keep you posted. Lang out. This is Lang. I compared notes with Parker this morning, and get this. I just received a call from Tom Phillips. The famous harmonica wants to meet with me immediately, as in now. I haven't been able to contact Max Foster for support, but that's fine. I'm bringing this asshole in myself.
Mission directives for Case Officer Asai.
This is Case Officer Asai. I've just returned from Walter Reed, where the FBI's medical examiner went over Bruce Jeffries. The bullet that killed him was run-of-the-mill, very ordinary. I think the shooter wanted it that way. Anyone could buy this ammo at a slew of gun shops in Virginia or Maryland. In other words, the trail is already cold. I'll keep digging. Asai, out. Asai here. As you know, I arrived at Ying Chung Wang's Rockland address at dawn with a strike team at the ready. Apparently, she was warned. She killed one of the team as she escaped. I collected evidence at the site. Thorne will get it after FBI counterintelligence looks it over. Asai, out. Asai here. I have Ying Chung Wang in custody at the Moscow station. I told you she'd only get away from me once. Before she left to meet this Grendel person she's so infatuated with, our favorite Korean spy couldn't resist shopping. I have to say, she is quite the capitalist, but with the fashion sense of a Bolshevik. Thorne can take it from here. If we want her to talk, we should use her relationship with Grendel, whether we have him or not. Maybe I'll finally get that weekend in Fiji. I'm on the Skody trail. All I found was a confirmed kill at a coroner's office in Minsk. A mafia informant bragged to local police about a secret weapon Ying made off with in Bensonhurst. I'm still digging. Incidentally, the M.O. in the Skody killing matched that used in the Parker and Jeffrey murders. It was harmonica. Guess he doesn't like competition. I hope the same hasn't happened to Lang. Asai, out.
Mission directives for Case Officer Parker.
Case Officer Parker reporting. I'm about to meet with Owen Pearson of our Moscow station regarding someone he's been trailing, a Rajiv Jalabad. Lovely person, that Mr. Jalabad. He's been connected to 3 Tel Aviv suicide bombings in the last 6 years. At least now we know who talks those idiots into it. Jalabad is a real live terrorist, an illustrious member of the FBI's top 10. I'm honored. Question is, what's he doing in Moscow? I'll continue to update you on my progress. Parker out.
Pearson, Owen Arthur.
Parker here. As you know, Pearson's death remains unresolved. He was found in an alley near the Kurskaya metro station with his kneecaps blown off. Damn. Clearly not a way to go. I never met with Pearson about Rajiv Jalabad, but the conspiracy surrounding the Dubansky assassination is growing exponentially. I just completed a meeting with Dmitry Bulgakov, a contact in the Moscow underground. Now he insists that Jalabad works for a group of operatives for hire, mercenaries or something. Seems they're all disgruntled ex-spies from agencies around the world. My contact also promised to connect me to Harmonica. I'll keep you posted. That's all.
Linking to Office of Information Resources.
Gromchevsky here. My friend, you wanted to meet Chorbanov? I have arranged it. Meet me alongside the Vilnius Center in 1 hour.
Case Officer Thorne, welcome to Interlink. Case Officer Thorne.
I am looking at the photo of Parker. He is not the only one out of commission. Lang is MIA. I had to cut his PDA out of the loop in case he's been captured. Hate to say it, Thorne, but it's down to you and Asai.
Downloading National Intelligence Daily.
President Brooks announced today that his upcoming journey to Moscow will be cut short due to an increasing workload at the Oval Office. The president will travel only long enough to join President Alexander Polyakov in signing the end treaty. Russia Russian presidential candidate Arkady Cherbanov has been rising in the polls since the recent assassination of Fyodor Dubansky. President Brooks' approval rating reached an all-time low today. 74% of people surveyed believe he has not shown sufficient world leadership, and according to the polls, that doesn't sit well with the average American. Russian President Alexander Polyakov is being accused by supporters of presidential candidate Arkady Cherbanov of using strong-arm tactics to push through the ratification of the End Treaty. Polyakov recently revoked Parliament's ability to approve foreign treaties, something that most Russian political analysts say he is not empowered to do. Critics of Polyakov say he is actually backpedaling from democracy by signing this treaty with the United States. Polyakov made no public comment on the matter. Sources in Moscow say there was a break-in at a nuclear facility north of the city sometime in the past several days. Russian military officials confirm the break-in, but deny that nuclear materials may have been taken. Intelligence sources suspect Russian mafia involvement. Russian black marketeers, in league with the thriving Russian mafia, frequently steal food and medical supplies for resale to a beleaguered public. It now appears they're moving into the more lucrative arms business. President Brooks is readying for a trip to Moscow in a few days to sign the End Treaty with Russian President Alexander Polyakov. Many see the End Treaties as a welcome relief to the Russian nuclear arms problem. Alexander Polyakov welcomes the joint denuclearization policy. Others, such as presidential candidate Arkady Cherbanov, see the treaty as a weakening of Russian might. Cherbanov said, "It is an outrage that Russia's own president will sign away Russian security for a few dollars, and the Russian people must not let Polyakov auction away their strength to the highest bidder." President Brooks' visit to Russia will include a tour of Moscow, a presidential gala, and, to quote President Brooks himself, a few days of R&R.
Case Officer Thorne.
I hate that bastard Cherbanov. I told him I forgot our invitations.
Докінчаю, друзі мої, і допитаю ще одно запитання. Яке життя будемо ліпше допитати, яку Росію буде мати?
Винорова is campaign manager.
Хорошо, знімки можна. Знімки можна. Так. Юрий Громчевский, as he lets his dogs out at night. And who would this be?
This is Thorne. I wanted to show how deeply organized crime permeates Russia. I could think of no better place to start.
The U.S. So you are FBI, CIA? I welcome you to our fine country, Thorne. I hope Yuri here hasn't bored you with his talk of mafia conspiracy to defeat Polyakov. Oh, and how is Alexander this evening? A bit under the weather, I imagine.
You are mad for power. You don't care if you drag Russia down to get it. You know the only way to win these elections is to destroy your opponent's reputation. Destroy their lives.
Allow me to introduce Thorne from the United States, who with Polyakov's task force on organized crime. Gromchevsky is showing Thorne around.
So, the butcher has become A babysitter.
Terribly ironic. I think Yuri here has just accused me of having Dubinsky killed.
How dare you say such a thing? It is so like Polyakov. He begins to feel a little pressure, and instantly he sends his militia and his Yankee cronies on the competition. Idź k czortu. Jak ty możesz takowe skazać? This conversation is over. Please excuse me.
Thorn, it is Birdsong. I am in danger. They have discovered my affiliation with you. I have been, how do you say it? I have been compromised. Do not attempt to contact me. Never again.
Case Officer Thorn. Case Officer Thorn.